We're just about coming to a close in our Great League portion of Season 2 in Go Battle League. And up to this point, I've been clawing my way slowly but surely through Rank 8, currently at about 2200 rating. In this video, we're going to take a look at my attempt to run a new team. Up to this point, I've been running the Caleb Peng line from Season 1. That was a double grass strategy involving Skarmory in the lead with Shiftry and Meganium in the back. And those are the double grass core that he was running and had a lot of success with in Season 1. But after having stalled out in 2200-ish range, I was ready for something new, and I thought I would try a new streamer's team, TheMummyDust's, a formerly local trainer, now up in the Michigan area. TheMummyDust's has been running a very interesting team involving Registeel as the lead, Sableye as a best buddy in the back, and Azumarill. And he's had a lot of success with it. In fact, he was one of the first trainers to hit rank 9 and was on the leaderboard on page 1, I think topping out at, the top 4th position in the leaderboard in Go Battle League at some point early on in the season. So he's had a lot of success with this team, so I thought I would give it a try. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, trainers. My name is Oro Chris. I am your catching coach, and we have got some playback footage of my run. This is a set of 5 battles with the Registeel, Sableye, and Azumarill team TheMummyDust's has been running in rank 9 up to this point. With Registeel in the lead, we've got Lock On, Focus Blast, and Flash Cannon, as you can see on the screen, as well as Shadow Claw, Foul Play. The change that I made with regard to Sableye, he was running Shadow Sneak. I preferred Power Gem, so I did make that slight modification. And then Bubble on Azumarill with Hydro Pump and Ice Beam. So opting for the Ice Beam instead of the Play Rough, giving up potentially the Mirror Match for Azumarill, but can have a lot better of an answer for things like Meganium or Altaria. So here in the first battle, we've got Lucario coming in after the swap, and then Bastiodon coming back in. Lock On with Registeel, going to be charging energy super quickly, so that was a good decision on the opposing trainer to get out of there. One Focus Blast gets through unshielded, and that is going to put a real hurt on the Bastiodon. So then I swap in. Luckily, I have enough energy to get to an Ice Beam before this Shadow Victory Bell is going to absolutely tear up the Azumarill, but he is going to eat through me as fast as can be. So now we're going to come in. You'd be surprised, Shadow Victory Bell can win depending on IVs in a 2-shield matchup versus Registeel, but because the opponent has already burnt shields, that is not going to work out. And here, Sludge Bomb, I hope that the trainer has another move on there. That is the worst possible move to be using against a steel type like Registeel. Going to have immunity tier resistance to Sludge Bomb, so anything is going to be better than that, including potentially Acid Spray to try to get the debuff, but even grass moves are going to be singly resisted, something like Leaf Blade. It may be because it's a Shadow Pokemon that he has not had the opportunity to TM away Frustration, so that's one of those gives and takes. But we are able to pull out the win in that first matchup. Bastiodon with a Grass Poison in the back is a very strong combination, so compliments to the trainer, GG on that team and on that game. The reason that those work together, a Poison type is going to resist Fighting type attacks. Bastiodon is doubly weak to Fighting, so they sort of play well against each other. Something to look out for on your squads, looking for that synergy. So here in match 2, we have Skarmory against my Registeel. I am not planning to shield any of these attacks, unlike in the Altaria matchup, where in a 2-shield, if you don't shield, you can potentially get into a pretty bad situation there at the end of that matchup. Skarmory does not have the same attack power that a Dragon Breath on Altaria does against Registeel. So he is going to not shield this, let that go through, and choosing instead to prioritize the matchup in terms of switch advantage rather than trying to have a better shield, less of a shield deficit. So here, this is a horrible situation for me. Umbreon is an absolute wall to my Sableye. I am really hoping that the Team Rocket encounters bring back Sableye. I need to get a better IV purified version, because a return on Sableye unshielded can actually pull out some solid damage against an Umbreon. But here I have got, other than Power Gem, nothing to bring that's going to really level that playing field. The TheMummyDust's team, he is running Sableye with Shadow Sneak and Foul Play. That's an even worse off situation against Umbreon, but he's managed to make it work, obviously. So I don't know why I'm attempting to criticize or critique his team composition. I went with Power Gem because I preferred that for those neutral matchups and things, or those deficit matchups for things like Umbreon, to have at least a neutral hit. So here we have got Lantern as a electric type, going to be resisting the steel attack of Flash Cannon. As a water type, also resisting it, so having immunity to resistance. So unless you're trying to bait out shields, always go for the Focus Blast on the Lantern, as we were able to get there. Here, I'm low enough health that I'm trying to just get off an attack before, and he's at a low enough HP position that he's going to have to shield if he wants to hold on to this Lantern. So he's willing to pull the shields on that play. So here, I didn't think I could get to a Hydro Pump. Potentially would have been close. And as we can see, just barely missing the knockout of the Ice Beam. That Thunderbolt doing a lot of damage. And here we're going to race, try to get off to this Ice Beam. An Ice Beam would be enough to KO. Is this last resort? It is not. So the Foul Play, not enough to get it done. And then we've got, coming in barely with enough energy, the Ice Beam going to be enough to KO the Lantern. So GG to the opponent. Good game there. An Umbreon, definitely a tanky Pokemon. If you're going to run Umbreon, you got to have Last Resort on it for those neutral hits. That resisted Foul Play was just not enough to do the damage necessary to win the matchup for the opponent. So here we have Humberto, some number, I didn't read it quickly enough. And here we've got that Altaria matchup. So as you can see, even though it's resisted, steel typing resisting dragon attacks, that Dragon Breath really hits hard, just absolutely melting away there. So we've got Flash Cannon, I believe a more energy efficient move, but it's not going to be resisted, so definitely the choice for the charge move to be using against Altaria here. Going to be burning both of those shields, and now we're in a position. I am so reluctant. I just hate to shield a resisted charge move. And I know that even if this Registeel goes down and I lose switch advantage, I've got 2 shields up now, and I've got a Azumarill that's going to come in and just absolutely wall this Altaria. So I'm not too concerned about it. See if that comes back to bite me here. So coming in with the Sky Attack, the right decision there. Bastiodon, no shields now, and as we can see, when you go down to 2 shields, there's no need to bait. Now I can just launch my most effective attack every single time, and I've got nothing to worry about. And that is one of the deficits, or one of the downfalls. When you hold on to at least 1 shield, you make the opponent have to think, do I want to try to bait this move, or do I want to go for the knockout, and potentially if you shield it, I'm going to be wasting all the energy. So one tip, hold on to your shields for as long as, at least 1 shield for as long as you can. It keeps the other opponent honest, really. But here I didn't have to worry about it. I just went with the Hydro Cannons that I needed. So Sableye going to come in, definitely not the most effective counter to Meganium. I was really on the fence about whether or not that was the way to use that shield, because an Ice Beam would have been a really nice super effective attack into the Meganium. But depending on how much energy a Frenzy Plant unshielded would have taken down a Sableye 2, he could have potentially farmed me. I wasn't Again, when you switch teams often, you're not going to know those little ins and outs, and that's why this is the team that the Mummy Dust has been running for a long time, so he knows how tanky a hit is going to be against a Sableye and things like that. I'm testing this team out. I don't have that kind of background knowledge, so I wasn't willing to risk it. And as we can see, in the 2200 range, folks are leading those Altaria like crazy. So we've got another Altaria lead. And as you can see, lock on, unless there's like a defense boost or a debuff or something like that, almost always going to be doing that one damage per turn. Going to be coming in with the flash cannon. And it does solid damage. I mean, it's nothing to just absolutely shrug off. Going to try to get off this flash cannon before taking that next sky attack. When you get to that last moment and you're within sky attack range, you're left with the decision, do I want to shield and get off this attack, or do I want to preserve the shield and now throw away all this energy at the end here? So the sky attack coming through had enough energy, farmed me down to get off 2 sky attacks. And that is one strategy or tip that King IV has been giving in some of the online coaching matches that I've been watching, is try to prevent the opponent from farming you down as much as possible. And what I mean by farming down is when you get to the end of the matchup and you don't have enough time or energy or HP to get to another charge move, and they're just going to use a fast attack to knock you out. They're farming all of that energy, just fast attacking you down, and then they come into with the next Pokemon where they've got now 100 energy stored up that they can just launch all those charge moves against you. So here, definitely the better play, foul play. Hits relatively hard. We've got one shield here. Gonna pull the trigger, and it's because I know that I've got enough in the tank to get to a foul play, get off a little bit extra energy there, overcharge a little bit. And now in the back we have got Meganium, and that farming down a little bit with some extra energy, I'm able to get off the foul play. And Shadow Claw, well, it does respectable damage without a shield. Meganium basically farmed me down, and we are going to go down with this Azumarill taking the Frenzy Plant to the face. In that situation, potentially swapping out earlier and not letting the first matchup get that Registeel get farmed down, so that the Altaria had 2 sky attacks ready. That potentially might have been the play. With shields, the Azumarill does do a fairly good job, at least can draw shields out from the Meganium, so something to consider. So here we've got the Haunter lead, definitely a strong option in the Great League. FP Sticks has been running a Haunter with a lot of success, so check him out. He's streaming and on YouTube's got a channel. But I will put a link to the TheMummyDust's Twitch stream channel in the description down below. Check that out. So here, almost never shield initially the Azumarill. Just so tanky, it can take a hit. And I knew that Haunter was going to be coming in. Sort of pause there a little bit. A Shadow Claw a Shadow Punch we definitely can tank. Shadow Ball, even though it's a neutral hit, just hits so hard. And now we have got a tough choice. Potentially I'm in range that I could, if that had been a Shadow Ball, to farm down myself, bubble down. Hashtag bubble down, I think that's a thing somewhere. So now we're going to go with the Ice Beam. Definitely should have gone for the Play Rough. Shields are down. Much more energy efficient, going to be a much better option, and I definitely had enough energy, or HP rather, stamina, to get to the Hydro Pump. We'll see if that comes back to bite me. But the super effective hit, definitely Focus Blast here. And this is why, this is a prime example. With no shields, I don't have to bait. He's in flash cannon range, so if we're in a situation where you can shield a hit early on, even if it's a bait, you're going to prevent yourself from getting to such a low HP that now the opponent doesn't have to shield at all, or doesn't have to use the harder hitting attack at all. You're in range of the cheaper attack. So there we are able to pull out 4 wins in that set. Gonna go for the Beldum as our reward, and I am much happier to see Beldum than I am to see Metagross. So there we are able to pull out a 4-win set. Overall, pretty successful. I think that the team definitely has a lot of play. If you start to see a lot of Meganium, which is what I was seeing in the 2200-ish range, that's when I really started to have a lot of difficulty. Now, potentially there might be a better option as far as a strategy for that, but for me, that's where I was having a lot of drawbacks. If you are able to, definitely check out TheMummyDust's stream. Ask him some questions about the team if you're interested. I know that having it as a best buddy, that Sableye, definitely helps some of those key matchups. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you are interested in Pokemon Go, competitive PvP, and basically anything Pokemon related, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And as always, happy catching.